that piece of information from CNN support my reason that the death penalty kills innocent people? Does it? No, why not? Okay, so it's talking about the death penalty, but it's not actually supporting that it kills innocent people. It's just telling me whether or not it's legal. It might take a couple of times to read through it to really figure out whether or not it supports it. But this piece of textual evidence, CNN reports that the death penalty is illegal, does not make my argument that the death penalty kills innocent people any stronger. It's just some information about the death penalty. So, what are the instructions on my sheet tell me I should do? If the answer to that question, does this make my reason stronger, is no. What do I do if the answer is no? One. I'm going to circle the textual evidence, and then I'm going to explain it in my notes for them. Okay, I'm going to circle this piece of textual evidence, and then in my notes, where there's a few lines, I'm going to write, this quote doesn't support your reason, but it might be useful somewhere else. Maybe I could put this quote as the author in the introductory paragraph to explain the death penalty a little bit more. Or maybe I won't use it at all. But it does not support directly this reason. Raise your hand if you can see that this does not support this. Let's try with the second example. We're going to do the same thing again. Reread the reason. Some people who are convicted of murder are actually innocent. Second textual evidence example is, estimates suggest that as many as 50% of people on death row are actually innocent. Raise your hand if you think that piece of textual evidence does support my reason. Right, it almost says exactly the same thing, so it makes it stronger. It's not just my idea, my opinion. Somebody actually believes that too. Somebody else finds that to be true as well. So it's almost going to sound sometimes like the exact same thing, or maybe a little bit off. But when you ask yourself the question, does this support what I'm saying and make it stronger? If the answer is yes, what do I do? I put a star by. So that person, when they get their paperback, knows, okay, I need to find another example for textual evidence 1, but textual evidence 2 is good. You're going to follow the same process for paragraphs 3 and 4 as we just did on this paragraph 2 here. So they're going to list the next reason, like in this paper. What should happen is my next paragraph should be about reason number 2, about how it's not the right thing to do to kill somebody even if they've killed somebody themselves. And then I should have 2 pieces of textual evidence. My 4th paragraph should be about how the death penalty is not effective, and I should have 2 pieces of textual evidence. Today, we're not even going to look at concluding paragraphs. Okay? We're just looking at making sure our introductory paragraphs have pieces, 3 reasons, and a solution suggested, and that each of our 3 paragraphs with reasons has 2 pieces of textual evidence that actually support it. We aren't even going to look at sentence structure, we're not going to look at punctuation, we're not going to look at spelling. If the person's paper you're looking at wrote one big run-on sentence for the introductory paragraph, I don't care about that today. Don't worry about that another day. We're focusing on this because it doesn't make any sense to proofread and edit incorrect spelling on textual evidence we're not even going to use. So we got to get the foundation of our paper, the core of our paper there, and then we can make it look perfect. So what's the first thing you're going to do when you get your partner's paper? Where are you going to start? Where are you going to start? The introduction. And I'm going to look for what things? What's one thing? The stating of the argument, which we call the thesis. What's the second thing I'm going to look for? There are 3 reasons, and what's the third thing I'm going to look for? 1, the solution. Okay, they're all there. I don't have to make any comments on this sheet. Move on to the next paragraph. What's the first thing I do in the paragraphs with the reasons? First thing. Nancy? What's the first thing that we do in the paragraphs with the reasons?
You have to find out if you use the same reason for it.
So I got to underline the reason and then compare it to the introduction, make sure it matches. Then what am I going to do after that? Amanda? Bracket the textual evidence and label it, right? TE1 or TE2. Then I'm going to reread the reason and then read what? Well, I'm going to read the reason and then I'm going to read what? And then what else? Yeah, I'm going to read through the textual evidence and ask myself, does this evidence make this point stronger? If it does, put a star by it. If it doesn't, I'm going to circle it and explain why. So my partner is going to get back their paper with all these marks on it, and they're going to get back the worksheet I'm about to give you. It looks just like what you have, with all of my comments on it, steps I follow. Are you with me? What questions can I answer about what you're about to do? Yes, on their paper. The paper you have right now is for you to keep in your binder so you always know these steps. The paper I'm going to give you is basically the same exact. Just doesn't have the top.
So you're gonna have
You write on that paper. You keep this one for your reference. The paper I'm going to give you at the top is going to say your name, and it's going to say peer editor's name. So you'll put your name on it, and then you'll give it with your paper to your partner. They'll fill out peer editor and fill out all the information. What other questions can I answer about what we're about to do? Yes? Well, you're not going to be partner with me right now. If you didn't do it, you're going to be spending your music class with me working on your paper. Yes? You're going to go through the checklist on that paper, and you're going to check for what's in their introduction, right? Thesis, reason, solution, and make sure the reasons in each paragraph match the introduction reasons, and then make sure the textual evidence, a big part of it, make sure that textual evidence supports the reason. Because your argument's only as strong as your textual evidence. If you don't have good textual evidence, you don't have a good argument. Those are the things you track. Yes.
So we're checking the first 4 paragraphs.
Yep.
And then the conclusion.
Yep. You're welcome to look over the conclusion, but we're looking just at the textual evidence. Any other questions? Okay, if you did not do your draft, if you do not have something in paragraph form, then you need to collect your materials and come stand over here in the next 15 seconds. Don't be shy, don't be shy. If you do not have your materials ready, bring it over here. Otherwise, I want to see that 5 paragraph essay on your desk. I can see that it's done. Done? Oh, that's the sheet you're going to get back and forth, okay? You done? No. So, I want to come up here. Go, Molly, over there. Come on up here. Yours done? Okay, then go over there. Did I give you something that makes sense? Yeah, that's not. That's not whole. Okay? As soon as I give you your sheets, you guys can go ahead and trade papers and be working. We're going to work on this for about 30 minutes, so you should be able to give full feedback to your partner if your partner is here. We'll do it in pen. Pen would be better so that they can see what they need to do. Louise, yours done? Finished? Did you print it? Okay. Put it together. Okay. Yes, you got this. Like mine was in practice that I showed you. Dolores, come with me. Okay? You guys got yours? You were done? Here you go. You were done? Okay. I'm going to ask that you guys scoot instructions so that I can put these in. Okay, so fill in. There's 2 seats here, 2 seats there, 2 seats there. Israel,